Big game coverage live from Los Angeles. Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Back here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He's Joe Reinagel, our AA Best Bail Bonds. Big game coverage continues here in Los Angeles with four-time Super Bowl champion Bill Romanowski. Romo, man, I missed you last year. Good seeing you, man.
I know. I take that back. I was going to say it had been a long time since I missed the Super Bowl, but I missed Minnesota. I didn't go up to Minnesota.
I didn't see you in Minnesota. I don't blame you for missing that one. It was the coldest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah. But 2 years ago, down in Miami, that was a lot of fun. But last year, no. Wasn't going to do it.
We didn't go last year either.
Yeah, you didn't?
No. So it's been 2 years since we've seen you in person, like the reunion. We see you every couple of years. Years ago, Joe just started with us on radio. He's retiring from 25 years on our local CBS television station. He's going to come play radio for a while. Romo was, 7, 8, 9 years ago. We're on with us every week, talking football. And then, starting his nutrition company that has just blown up. Now he doesn't have time for the weekly segments, but great entertainment because I never know what the hell the guy's going to say.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it can be. It can be, but, good. You guys are good at what you do, so you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, Bill, I was excited about this interview because, man, I remember watching you, and you were a football player. A hard-nosed, tough football player. Well, 4 Super Bowl championships. What is all that, the memories of that when you look back at a brilliant career?
You know what? I literally, in watching games now, sometimes I get sad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, God, I'd give anything to go back out there and do it again. I truly loved playing football, and there's a part of me, like when I first got out, I was like, I needed that break. I didn't realize how tired I really was. And, there's a part of me that almost wants to get back into it in some way. But hey, that probably will not happen. But I do miss it. I really do. And I watch it and I love it still. It's a fantastic game, the greatest game to watch. And, I'm blessed that I was able to play for so long.
And for a long time after, you were doing a lot of stuff with the Raiders, then they leave and move to Vegas. And so
they moved to Vegas.
I'm surprised you didn't move too.
I did it because I loved it, not because, I loved, the amount of money I was making doing it. I truly did it for fun. And I love the Raiders, and I love talking Raiders, and I love talking football. And it kind of kept me in it a little bit, enough to feel like I was a part of something. And so now, now I'm just, hey, I've been rooting for Brady the last couple of years. And it bummed me out that he's retiring.
Well, it sounds like, if you believe the rumors, that he may not be done, right? And maybe San Francisco is the next stop, a trade for him and Garoppolo.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If it happens, they'll win the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, wow.
Hands down. I would put a lot of money on it. It would be a guarantee. Yes.
Wow.
That's, with what, how good of a play caller Kyle is and the team that they have, they would win the Super Bowl next year.
With Tom Brady.
What
if they found a way to get Aaron Rodgers?
They could win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. With Tom Brady, it's a guarantee. Sometimes Aaron Rodgers, you don't know what you're going to get. And it seems like in the biggest game, that's when you don't know what you're going to get and doesn't quite live up to the expectations.
When you look at Brady and going back to him and the age that he's playing in, and you watch him play this last year, still playing his best football. That's such – how weird is that to see a guy that age still performing at that level?
I know. It's awesome, and hats off to him. I played till I was 37, at linebacker, and what I had to go through at 37, and now I was playing linebacker, not quarterback.
Right.
I had to run with running backs and tight ends and receivers and do all that. So that part of it, was harder. But Tom Brady's got to, being a quarterback's not easy. You got to be sharp. You got to be on your game. And, what he was doing, he made me a fan. And I religiously watched Tampa Bay for the last 2 years.
Interesting. Bill Romanowski joining us here on the Blitz on Radio Row in Los Angeles. We're Cowboys country. What do you think? What are your impressions of rookie Micah Parsons?
Love him. And in the beginning, when they had him at inside linebacker, and then they moved him more outside, I'm like, are you kidding me? Why wasn't he there from the beginning? This guy's a killer. You can impact the game so much more rushing the passer. And maybe they didn't know how good he could be at that. But, to me, that's where I would keep him. If I ever, and if I was Jerry Jones, and if I ever saw him line up in the middle, like in a middle line, but like a Mike or a Plugger, a Will linebacker, I would call down to whoever the head coach is or the defensive coordinator. I say, you're fired.
When you look at a guy like Micah Parsons, though, and Deebo Samuel, those guys just seem to be able to do it all. Because Parsons can play a couple of different positions. Obviously, Samuel can do the same.
He could play probably strong safety if he had to. He's that dynamic. He's that explosive. He's that fast. But where you can impact the game most is rushing the passer.
Absolutely. And I want to see Micah doing a lot more of that. Now, you think about your time with the Raiders and everything that you've done broadcasting the Raiders, and I know they moved on you, but you still follow them. This year was, a disaster, although they, on the field, were able to do a lot of things. What did you think of their decision not to bring back Rich Bisaccia as head coach and go with McDaniels?
You know what? I thought Bisaccia made quite a case to be able to bring him back. And I thought he earned a spot at the table to get an interview and really think about it for Mark Davis. But I think Josh McDaniels brings more youth, and the combination of him, with a general manager from the same organization to where, these guys eat, breathe, sleep the same kind of football. They were in it together for so many years. I think it was a great choice. You have to realize Mark Davis is turning into a great owner. And you guys would be blown away. I go back to these alumni events that the Raiders put on, and Mark really cares about his alumni. And these events, better than anything the Broncos or 49ers put on.
Really?
He really does it right.
Wow.
And when I say impressive, it is impressive.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is. I've got to ask you this because it drives me crazy, and I would think the player the way you were would drive you crazy too. I watch football. Obviously, NFL is still king. We had the great playoffs that we had this year, but it drives me nuts when a safety comes up and pops somebody or a linebacker, and they get flagged for it. Does that drive you as crazy as it does me?
You know what? Sometimes it does, and sometimes – it seems like there's a lot of times they'll throw that flag, but they're picking it back up, because they couldn't see that the guy actually hit him with his shoulder.
Yeah.
It would have been hard. It truly would have been really hard. I was a head hitter.
Yeah.
And, I use my head as a weapon. And what these guys are able to do now at full speed and turn and hit with a shoulder, hey, hats off to them because it's not easy.
Bill Romanowski, I know you would have to change your game a lot to play in today's NFL. But if you were kind of transitioning from the way you were playing to what you're seeing now in the middle of it, would you have been able to play till 37?
I could have played in this style of football probably till I was 40. And the reason being, it's turned into more of a passing game. There's not a lot of teams that are going to go up and try to beat you pounding the football. That's not what this game is. Yeah, you have the Tennessee Titans as kind of an outlier that way. But for the most part, teams are going to beat you throwing the football. I was a great coverage linebacker. So for me, it would have actually been easier.
Who was the toughest tight end you had to cover?
Tony Gonzalez.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow, I can see that.
Yeah.
What made him so difficult?
That good. You know, Tony was, if he wanted to, he could block. When he played for Schottenheimer in Kansas City, he made him block. And I tell you what, he could come at you a little bit. You know, I used to grab him by the throat, you know, literally the first play of every game, and I'd squeeze as hard as I possibly could, and he'd get all pissed off. And I said, 60 minutes, pal. You know, and then I would say something like, you know what? If you catch a ball on me today, I'll retire. Yeah, I would mess with him, but he was as good as they get.
So you were a great trash talker. We know that.
Yep. Anybody
ever trash talk you where you go, damn, man, that guy won the trash talk battle?
That's a good, Steve Wisniewski was actually pretty good at it, you know, and he was a damn good guard in the National Football League for a long time. He was the kind of guy where you better not be standing around the pile because the Raiders, you know, they really would try to take you out if you were standing around. And they had an offensive line coach that I know coached them. And I think they used to get extra bonuses, you know, where if you were standing around a pile, they just level you. You know? So
who do you like Sunday?
If I want the Rams.
Okay.
You know, that's who I'm rooting for. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet on the Bengals.
The 4.5.
Yeah. And I think Burrow is that much better than what the Rams have.
Wow.
At quarterback.
Wow. Interesting.
And Matthew Stafford has done a great job to get where he is. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think there'll be a point in the game where he reverts to the way he played when he was in Detroit. And I think he'll play not to lose. And it may not be the whole game. It may be a quarter, but there's going to be a point in this game where he messes up. And, you know, he's had some of that really come into his game throughout the season. And I tell you what, McVay has done a hell of a job to keep it out during the playoffs, but it would pop up still. And it's like they wanted to give the game. They wanted somehow, some way, they wanted Tampa to steal that game.
Yes,
they tried.
Yes, they did.
They tried damn hard, and they were close. But, you know, I think the Bengals are going to win.
And I look at the Bengals weren't better than Tennessee. They got, Tennessee got to them 9 times.
I know.
Yet they won the game. On paper, Kansas City, and they win the game.
Kansas City was blowing them out.
Yeah.
It wasn't even really a football game. And I was like, you know, but I also think they are the best at going in at halftime and fixing it. And when they come out in the second half, whatever it is, whatever that magic sauce is, they've got it.
It was magical against Kansas City, that's for sure.
It certainly was. Now, speaking of magic sauce, man, you're a broadcasting pro, Bill Romanowski, because you've got the magic sauce with Nutrition 53 and your Lean 1 shakes.
I do. And, I'm very blessed. When I left the game, I always worked with the top doctors, scientists, and nutritionists when I played. And when I left, I hired the same group to help me make some of the best products that our country, has ever seen. And I formulated a, fat burning meal replacement shake, Lean 1. I have a dynamic natural sleep aid called Lean 1 Sleep. I rebranded it from Sleep 1 to Lean 1 Sleep. And then I have a brain focus product that is like rocket fuel for the brain. And that's Lean 1 Neuro. And if you take care of those three things in your life, you stay lean, you get good sleep, and you have energy and focus, the world is yours.
Wow. I don't know. I was trying to think 2 out of 3, maybe.
Well, I don't know about the neuro and the sleep, and Bill can tell you this. I didn't know Bill had this product. When I had my weight loss surgery in 2010, and I was trying all these different kind of shakes and smoothies, and they all tasted like crap until I found Lean 1 randomly. Tried it. It was like a milkshake. It was so good, a chocolate milkshake. And I started using it. Then I realized, well, that's Bill Romanowski's. And then we reached out, we connected, had him on talking about it, and used it for years.
Yeah. So, it's nice to be able to do something where you can impact people. And I really enjoy that. Football was all about me and my ego. And, and I projected that every damn Sunday as hard as I possibly could. And, people didn't realize that, in the locker room, I was the guy helping people out. I was the guy helping people, sleep better. I was helping them out with energy throughout the season. I was helping them with therapy, and so it was pretty easy for me, to kind of transition, and it was fun. And I like being in a position to impact people.
Well, it's been fun watching that company grow from what it was to getting into all the Smoothie Kings and everything else that you've been doing. It's been a hell of a success. Bill Romanowski, 4-time Super Bowl champion. And can I call you Smoothie King?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Smoothie King.
Yes.
You're on Radio Row in Los Angeles. Always great catching up, my friend.
Thank you.